a l'extraordinària gira al Japó, amb una pandèmia que ens ha empès a ser més creatius i resilients i amb un renaixement, podríem dir, una resurrecció, un cant a la passió per la vida, en què el mestre Ono passa el testimoni al futur director titular, que, com sabeu, començarà amb nosaltres el mes de setembre. Kazushi Ono emprèn una nova etapa al capdavant de l'Orquestra Philharmònica de Brussel·les i des d'aquí volem desitjar-li molts d'èxits, agrair-li tots aquests anys en què hem pogut fer música plegats i desitjar que vingui a visitar-nos ben aviat. Kazushi, maybe we could start by talking a little bit about your first encounter with the orchestra, when you first started 6 years ago. How did it go? How did you feel?
7 years.
7 years.
Right? When I have conducted for the first time the orchestra was 8 years ago. It was Scheherazade. And then one Catalan concertmaster joined us at that period, and who studied in London. And then we have had the hope that he would join us as a colleague, but it wasn't, And then we had some difficult period without concertmasters and so on. But as I told you, for the first time at the press conference, and my ideal stature, ideal sounds of the orchestra is the as a construction like a Sagrada Familia, in which any elements have the different meaning, but as integration is becoming a great stature. This was which I have asked the orchestra for 7 years, and then unfortunately, on the Corona period, and it was a really difficult period. But then, fortunately, we could do the great successful Japanese tour, and then nobody never forget about the last performance of Turandot. It was a region of the huge lake, and then we saw the complete 2 rainbows on the lakes, and then it was a kind of symptom of the activity which we have cultivated, work together, and then now. After Corona period, might be also now is a Corona period, but after Corona, without masks and so on, we could together made a very good auditions, and now several top players of the string instruments and then also the winds section, new faces. And then some tutti players, very young generations, And I think that now this orchestra has a very good balance between the generations. I think so experienced and then competent orchestra musicians still there, and then still. Have a very important roles, and in the same time, such young people with whom we are now expecting so many good things in the future. And then mixture of the one personality of the musician is also the fundamental thing of orchestra sound. And that means this balance, generation balance is good. It's a very good symptom of this orchestra's future. And then these 7 years with that Japan tour, and then this now the situation of generations harmony. I'm very, very happy to have been able to see such two highlights in these 7 years.
And there are actually, you made me think there are many projects to celebrate during this period. Like, I don't know, the Brahms symphonies or the Beethoven festival, or I don't know, the recording of Le Ballet de Picasso. Tell us a little bit more about those experiences. Which one do you remember with nice memories, and what value do you give them?
It's a very quite difficult to answer because I remember each days of each simple week in my mind even now, and then of course that recordings were very exciting projects, and then not only Picasso series but then also Mahler 5, and then Shostakovich 5, and the Shostakovich 10. Shostakovich 10's CD and has won the extra special prizes in the Japanese Classical Music Society, and this was also very big moment, and then memories.
And then there's been the premieres also. You've been involved with
I have,
composers.
I'm very proud that I have conducted such many Catalan composers, premiere or world premiere, and also became very good friends. For example, with Para, and I have met him also in Paris, and Christian, and then I have kind of found him because he was he was already famous in Xinjiang in China, and then somehow my wife and then his wife became friends, and then I met Christian for the first time, and then I have received his music, and then I have found it's very, very interesting, and then we have presented his music for 2 times, yeah. And then with him also, very, very special opportunity to get knowing him, and then we could become a very, very good friends. Yes.
And also, I was thinking, of course, with such a long time, with 6 years, you've had many soloists and great singers, national and international, and you've been working with the local choirs. All of them, I think, or the most relevant ones, have been under your baton. Do you have any particular moment that you remember with, I don't know, special memories? I think I have here, I don't know, like...
And first of all, I have to say that my first meeting with the Catalan choir was the project of Sagrada Familia, for a Requiem. It was 8 years ago or 9 years ago or something, before becoming the MD, I think, or in the same time?
Starting, more or less.
Starting or something. But starting with for a Requiem in Sagrada Familia, this is as a career of one conductor, I think I'm one of the happiest musicians in the world, I thought, at that period, you know. And then we have made so many works, and with the choir, one very Requiem or Kaddish, Dvorak Requiem, and Messiah, you know, and there's so many different styles of music, and then we could learn, and then we could play it, and then the public appreciate it. And then I'm really glad to have worked with Catalan, such a great and level of the choirs.
Maybe we could talk a little bit about the program of this week, the resurrection, Mahler's resurrection. Tell us a little bit about the frame of the idea of the project and what it means to you, and why did we decide to play?
Of course, and then when I have decided to conduct the Resurrection Symphony of Mahler in my last concert was already planned and then fixed in 2 years, normally, you know, in 2 years and so on. And then it was like that. But this time, under these special circumstances, not only Corona, but also there's another serious human matter is on our, you know, site, and also, and we have the daily sad news and through the broadcasting and so on. And then the Resurrection Symphony is not just only Mahler's Second Symphony, but I would like to say that the resurrection, this is a message of the human being who has lost the dignity of the human being by the violence, and which has to be denied absolutely in our human world. And then that is a double meaning to play a Second Symphony of Mahler in this time.
Thank you very much. Maybe we could now hand it to the press. Si teniu preguntes i voleu adreçar-les, aprofitar que teniu el mestre o no aquí amb nosaltres. There's people following us, so there might be some questions from the internet.
La Maricel pregunta que era extret de la música catalana en aquests anys que ha fet repertori català.
What Maricel, you remember Maricel? She's asking from La Vanguardia, what are you taking with you from the Catalan music that you've discovered over these years?
Yes, so many things, and then, you know, Hector Parra or Kushan, and had a relative new generation, and then there are using an electro music or music in the public, or in the case of a Christian, he let the musician to play with the iPhone, you know, and then that kind of an experimental composing, and which I appreciate very much. But in the same time, I have conducted many pieces of Maestro Casablanca, and then I have found kind of very, very strong force of spirit of Catalan, which stays on a very, very solid base, and then on that base, so many colorful and then something and polyphonical music and has played, and then there was also very for me fresh and then very profound experience.
Thank you very much.
També la Maricel pregunta què s'endú a Brussel·les de la feina amb l'OBC.
So Marisol Chavarria, she's asking, what are you taking to Brussels from your experience from the OBC?
From Brussels?
Yeah, what are you taking to Brussels on your next...
Taking to Brussels?
Yes, what are you taking to Brussels from the experience that you earned and had here in Barcelona?
Just I told for the music of Maestro Casablanca, I think that the very, very precious point of Catalan music and the Catalan society is that their base, and then a very, very great and a solid base you are exists as a individual, you know, and then that individual as a base, and then the sound of the individual's integration and sound becomes a very good orchestra, which the sounds are going up to the top of the cathedral or Sagrada Familia, you know. That is not only to Brussels, but also I will already I have already brought to my Japanese orchestra that kind of dimensional, you know, constructive and individual, but integrated, that kind of things. And I have already, have been influenced, and also I have brought to anywhere.
Okay. More questions? Mira, Marc, què tal?
Volia preguntar si el programa escollit per despedir-se té un significat especial amb el que ha aconseguit a l'orquestra. I després, l'altra pregunta és de què està més orgullós ell, la feina feta, de què està particularment orgullós.
D'acord. Marta from Periódico. She's asking, what are you particularly proud of from the orchestra, from your work with the orchestra? And the meaning of the Resurrection program, if it has any meaning also towards what you kind of the end? Like, is there a metaphoric also idea of the end of the program, of your years, of your tenure, apart from the resonances with the current situation in Ukraine and in the post-pandemic situation?
First of all, and when I have started to work with the OBC, I have seen such a star players like Juanma, and also Jose, and Mireille, and also trombone section was really international, and now the two top players of violas are really strong, and such real how to say soleil and the sun of the musicians. It was a very strong impression when I had started already. And about the Second Symphony of Mahler, I have already said, when I have put that symphony as my end of MD in 2 years, 2 years ago. But now, under these circumstances of not only Corona, but also that really crisis of the dignity of human being, to play now the Resurrection Symphony has two double meanings. And then one is, of course, resurrection, the people who have the fate to be dead should be once again, resurrected. This is the first message of Kropchok. But now, other meaning that this, disgraced experience for us, the dignity of the human beings, and has been denied and also distracted. And then that's the reason why the Second Symphony of Mahler to play now has a extra meaning, I think. Yeah.
La Maricel pregunta també
si pot fer una valoració sobre el lat, el concertino.
Sobre el concertino. Maricel is asking if you can say something about Blood, about the concertmaster. He's in leave at the moment. Està en excedència aquest any. Per tant, You haven't seen him since before the pandemic, I'd say, no?
Brad is a very pure musician, and then I think he will come back, I think.
He's coming back. Yeah.
And then somehow he has left to go to another chamber music orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard. And then, as he will come back, and then as he will work with the new music director. Actually, the new music director is my successor in La Monnaie. Do you know that? No?
He's following you wherever you go.
Yeah. And that means somehow there's a special, relationship between Barcelona and then Brussels. I don't know, but you know, I feel like something like that, you know. And also, as I told you, there's so many star players, and then once again, with a new music director to get up, and then to have several good tours. That is very important for the orchestra future, because you know, you know that this orchestra is a very internationally international level, but you have to let the people know all of the world, and through internet, through CD, and then directory through tours, you know. And then I think if I would have been, or if we would not have been in that circumstances of Corona, and then I'm sure that then I could have made another a big tour in Japan, and also in Asia, and that's the second time. But this is just a thing. I'm a little bit think it is a pity.
What about the composers, the music you learn, the new music you learned that you didn't know before coming here? What has surprised you the most, and what do you think you're going to follow in the future?
Mm-hmm. And that's I have partly said. For example, the Christian piece, you know, I didn't use, but the whole musician had the iPhone in the hand, and then put the, you know, on the stage, and then they are, you know, communicating, yeah, together, and it was really surprising, yeah. And then I know also representative international great composers and living composers, but then such a not serious, a little bit fancy, but the thought of his idea is very serious, you know. And then the result was also very interesting, you know. And then that was absolutely one of the big
and then there's,
the experiences.
And what about Fabia? You had Fabia in
Fabia,
the tour.
yeah. Fabia. First of all, I have listened to Fabia's music. It was the shamisen players and shamisen ensemble brothers, you know, players. And then he has an influenced by shamisen instrument, and then he really profoundly learned about the instrument, and which he has written back to them and to us was kind of very positive, surprising, because his idea is a kind of an not instruments competent over, but including the instruments competence, but completely new world he has he could bring to us. And then the piece, which we have done it here as a world premiere, and then also in Japan. It was kind of a shamisen player in a 200 years ago, and then philosopher is taking a walking around the under the lights, under the so many kind of leaves, you know. These circumstances he certainly has brought from Catalan nature, and let him walk around that Catalan nature. It was a real discovering of two different words. And then recently he has had written his first opera, right? And then it was also very ambitious and piece. And then I have heard and CD, and then I said to him that then congratulations, and this is already you have studied with us, but then you are now a little bit far from us. that was an I said to him.
Parlàvem de Fabià Sankowski, per aquells que no... Alguna pregunteta més?
Jo és que he arribat tard. Jo no sé si ha explicat una mica el que farà fora de Barcelona. O sigui, el que va fer, quins plans té i...
No m'he entrat molt en profunditat, la veritat. She's asking if you could tell us a little bit about your plans with the Brussels Philharmonic. Well, about your future, but obviously you're going as MD at Brussels Philharmonic, and what's coming next season, for example? What are you facing?
Yeah, in Brussels, and then there is also radio choir. That's the reason why we shall have that kind of collaboration, and also I will take responsibility of the futures and planning of Living Composers series. You know. And Brussels is one of the European cities and where they are very keen to have new things. Yeah. And then that's the reason why Brussels Philharmonic Orchestra maybe propose something new elements to the people.
You will still be in Japan.
Yeah, I have my orchestra in Tokyo, and then I continue that not under MD, but an artistic director. This is the just and making the season program. This is my job of New National Theatre Tokyo. This is an opera house.
Do you mean you're going to have a place in the opera house in Tokyo as a conductor?
He's already.
He's already.
Yeah.
But
I have started from 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was an artistic director position. Yeah.
Because Alex Oyer has conducted
Yeah,
several
yeah, yeah, yeah,
operas.
yeah.
I wanted
Yeah,
to know if
yeah.
in the future you are planning
Yeah.
to
Yes, yes, yes.
still work more with
Yeah,
him, or yeah.
Yes, because we have done Turandot together, and then Turandot was 2020 was Olympic game in period in Japan, and then 2019 and then 20, 2 years we had the cultural festival of Olympic game, Paralympic game. And then I have made decision that it would be a very, very nice idea to make with him. And then next piece was Carmen. We have already done Carmen. And then if I Carmen in my mind, and then just told that idea to Alex, and Alex told me that this is my country's piece, Carmen. That was his reaction. And then I have decided. And I hope that that kind of thing will happen again. Yeah. But as always, as at the other big theaters, also like that, in New National Theatre, Tokyo, also put the cancelled piece, move to next season. And then that piece should have been played in 2021 next season or over next season, or like that. This is one of the most difficult periods for that word, opera world.
Ok. Doncs si no tenim més preguntes, ho deixem aquí. Gràcies per acompanyar-nos, també els que ens han seguit en digital. I per fer una difusió, us convidem als concerts d'aquest cap de setmana, que segur que seran espectaculars. Moltes gràcies.
Yes.